All right, so I've did a set of videos talking about how I was using Winter Warden Shield, but in the process, um, was playing around with Dark Invader and trying to come up with some other ideas, and I actually found one that I think works very, very well. Traditionally, when you use Dark Invader, what you're trying to do is utilize Optico Misc and Elevons and boost your pet damage so that the next round you're using like maybe like an energy jelly, maybe a fire void skull that on SP heal mode to um, heal back enough SP such that you can just spam the skill. And the brilliance of the Dark Invader armor is it's inflicting blind and choke. So you can use it versus almost any monster in the game because you're fueling your defensive capability as well as offensive capability with your pets and guests. Or you could choose to attack or cast a spell, if you're a mage variant, for some damage. It's very, very, very strong armor, and it's also doing status weakness on the monster, so you could do all kinds of statuses. It makes it sort of a perpetual deal, right? So may actually get blown up here, but there we go. Um, so there is a strategy using the Winter Warden Shield, but there's actually not using it and going a different route. So, like I said, traditionally, maybe you're using your pet slot for maybe something more offensive, such as Pride Lord, or you are using, um, your guest slot, or maybe you're using your pet slot like Energy Jelly or SP Void Skull. What I'm going to do here actually is I'm going to use the pet and the same idea using Power Gauntlet with Winter Warden Shield. I'm going to use, and instead, I'm going to actually use this um, Omni Elevon and Power Gauntlet to fuel all this other Elevon, and therefore I'm going to heal with the guest. And instead of using Optico with the pet, I'm going to use Summoning Stone, which has a guest boost. So basically, it's going to work like this. So we could start off with Shadow Feeder, and then instead of Optico, we're going to use Summoning Stone. Obviously, you have Dodge Lash here, but we're going to use Guest mode. We're going to have Elevon from the weapon, and then we're going to have Elevon from the shield. So in this instance, all we're going to do is do a skill 2 times. As you can see, we've got 192 dual element Elevon. Now that's going to change to 284. As you can see, the first round, the guest is doing some pretty decent damage. All right, so we've created a defensive stance through chokes. Choke is what, 46%. Blind's not on the screen, but it is going to be pretty high. That's why the monster didn't hit me. But the pet just did 120% Omni Elevon. So all we're going to do is bring in Power Gauntlet. And so that Omni Elevon is now 220%. So we have 284 and we have to fire and energy. We have 153 to fire, which will remain on 0 turn. And now we have 2 turns of 220. We're going to come back with Summoning Stone. And now we're going to build on the fire and energy Elevon. But with all this stacked Elevon, the guest is going to blow up the monster and full heal my SP. Killing it. And this stack is actually not bad because you can actually, so when the pet goes again, it's going to actually lower the Omni Elevon stack. So I think I had 220 there. It'll lower it, but you're just going to need to go back on top with Power Gauntlet. Probably need to just do that one time. The only bad thing about using the guess is it costs SP to operate. So you want to make sure you have enough. As you can see, we're going to have, let's see what the Omni is, 130. This now is going to become 230, assuming that it inflicts. Come back with Summoning Stone. So we have all this Elevon, and then we're going to have a guest boost from Summoning. It's probably going to kill the monster here, but if it doesn't, what will happen to this top line that says 230 to Omni Elevon? After the guest goes, the pet will actually change this to 2 rounds of, I don't know what it will be, maybe 180 or something, or 190. But then if it's, let's say if it's 190, then I'll go back on top with Power Gauntlet again, and the next round will be like 290. So it always is actually higher than the previous round. So let me show you this. So now, let's see, it actually dropped to 171. So now this should be 271, 272 due to rounding. So again, it's just going to build every round. And then we'll have a full SP heal, as you can see. And it just fuels itself. But anyway, that's a different idea from traditional Dark Invader ideas where you're focusing on using your pet to replenish your SP. Maybe your guest is your damage. It's probably less overall damage than using the pet, but it is an option for you. It actually could fuel if you wanted to cast a nuke spell or just attack with the armor. It probably would result in some pretty high damage there. Don't have to just use this skill. But anyway, it's utilizing Wishweaver Pet to just boost the overall Elevon stack so that the guest is what is doing the damage and healing back your SP instead of the pet. So anyway, I just wanted to show off a slight alteration, a very effective stack to utilize with Dark Invader and just infinitely do Dark Invader skills, which builds on defense and its offense at the same time.